All right, welcome to Mike Odyssey live news and Q&A. We do have some breaking news to go over in this, and I want to go ahead and welcome everyone that's here today. And for the purpose of those who are watching this live stream, afterwards live, I want to go ahead and jump right straight into the news, right? And then we'll go over into the Q&A, and of course, the shout outs to our current live guest here. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the news. We do have some updates since yesterday. If you don't remember, yesterday we had a crazy day when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2 news. A lot of leaks, a lot of updates from suppliers, from companies who make controllers, from insiders, from everywhere there was news about the Nintendo Switch 2. And where there's a lot of smoke, there is also fire. So with that said, we everything kind of came together because as we were getting all of these different sources of news coming from everywhere, we found out that everyone was kind of basically saying the same thing, leading us to believe that Nintendo was at one point kind of issuing some or showing off the system itself for the very first time. Right before, we only saw we heard of some gameplay, we heard this, but this, for the very first time, we're hearing about the actual hardware for the Nintendo Switch 2. Not only that, but breaking news, Nintendo has started already taking down some of those outlets, some of those posts that they basically hinted at. So by Nintendo doing that, it only confirms that the information is true, right? If Nintendo breaks in and says, "Hey, take that down, please. We don't want that up there," that means that that the information is true. There will be no other reason for Nintendo to take down anything unless the information is a real leak and is also true. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning where it all started with it started 3 days ago by this company named MobilePad, right? This company is called MobilePad. They make controllers. I've covered them here on the channel. They make I have some controllers around here somewhere. But what I want to do is I want to share my screen and go over to the main source. It started yesterday, right? Nintendo has already started taking down some of these list of leaks, giving it more credibility, right? When Nintendo strikes, the ninjas strike, that it only confirms everything. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and start with the very first source we got yesterday that came from the Facebook page. But there has been new developments here, okay? And here we have it. Let me know if you guys can see it well on screen. This is right here where we have, let me go ahead and kind of where am I? Can I be can I be in the corner? Oh, there I am. There I am. Or can I be on the side like this? Maybe, but that makes this kind of smaller. Can I be like this? No, no. How about this? That's better, right? Maybe like this, and I can kind of change this, bring it over here. Still, I want to make it bigger. Maybe I'll just do this. All right. Okay. That's good, right? Is that good for everyone? Can everyone see the screen well? Okay, so let's go ahead and go over this because there have been some changes because, of course, Nintendo has been working. Ninjas are on the hunt right now with their swords and their ninja stars, and this is the first proof that the ninjas are out out for blood. So right now we have this post here by MobilePad. They had to remove the original post or alter it. It was still done 3 days ago, as you can see here, right? But it looks like it's been altered. So let's go ahead and read what it says now. But I happen to save the screenshot of what it said before. So we're gonna go over both of them, okay? Nintendo Ninjas took down the post from MobilePad, but I saved the screenshot and we're gonna go over that screenshot right now. So let's go ahead and read what it says here by MobilePad, right? They completely reorganized their what they've said. Says exclusive insight into Nintendo Switch 2, what to expect. Are you as intrigued as we are about the latest news on Nintendo's next gen console? They kind of that question was asked. Then we've had in the previous post, they had seven little points here. Right here, we only have three. And it says, will the Bluetooth chip with Switch 2 support current Joy-Cons and Pro controllers? They've made it into a question. Number two, is the card slot in Nintendo Switch 2 compatible with previous generation Switch cartridges? Number three, have there been any upgrades to the screen? And then they say, feel free to discuss as we're set to unveil the first hand information we've gathered in early May. Okay, so this is the thing. All right, this right here is not the original post. All right, you can see here, this is not even part of it, but the original post is not this. And I am so happy that I happened to screenshot the original post. I have it right here. Let me go ahead and open it and share it with you guys because we'll go over the original post they had yesterday. And this is just proof that Nintendo Ninjas are at work. Let me go ahead and replace this right here. Get the other one. This is the official one right here. Let me know if you guys can see that well, but that is the official. Maybe I can kind of go side by side. There we go. There we go. So this is the official post by let me go ahead and get this here. Um by MobilePad. This is the official post by MobilePad. The one they removed, as you can tell, is also 3 days old. The same exact post, and it starts out the same way. Nintendo Switch 2 Insider Insights show everything we know. So basically, this part has been edited, and then they asked, "Are you eagerly anticipating news about the next generation Switch console?" Right? That's kind of the same as the newer post. But here we have the edit. This is the original one. Through our partnership with Nintendo Supply Chain, we have acquired exclusive information about the upcoming Switch 2, which we are pleased to share it with you. Okay. And then, of course, look, we have six bullet points here. The Bluetooth chip of the Switch 2 still supports existing Joy-Cons and Pro controllers. They changed that to a question. Will the Bluetooth Switch 2 chip still support existing Joy-Cons Pro controllers? They had to change it to a question instead of making a statement because it looks like they were, they went after them. The number two again, number two also the same exact thing. The cartridge slot on the Switch 2 will support backwards compatibility with existing Switch game cards and physical and digital hardware. Digital. However, new game cards designed for the Switch 2 will now be compatible with the original console, with Switch 1, of course. And so that they also changed to a question. Will Switch 2 cartridges or Switch 1 cartridges be backwards compatible with Nintendo Switch, right? They changed that to a question. And number three, they changed the question completely to kind of accommodate 3, 4, 5, and 6, where they basically asked, instead of that one, they said, have there been any upgrades to the screen? That's the question they updated to. But the original post they made said, that's not what it said. Let me go get it here. I kind of lost my screen here. But the original post stated, you have it here in front of you. It had 3, 4, 5, and 6 more bullet points here. In handheld mode, the new Joy-Con rails will adopt a horizontal magnetic docking structure for smoother attachment. So instead of kind of going from top to bottom, it'll go from front to back. So front to back. So it'll kind of fit into place with magnets. I'm pretty sure that they won't rattle up and down. So it'll go from front to back. And that's what it says here. The S, L, and SR buttons will be metallic and magnetically activated. I'm guessing that's for games that require some kind of change in how it feels to hit the triggers, right? Just like the PlayStation 5. And so the number 4 says the Switch 2 will retain the USB port for docking, compatible with the new generation docks featuring minor design enhancement. And number 5 also talks about the dock. The redesigned dock will include a metal damping bracket for improved angle adjustment. The swivel. That is the swivel that we discovered in the patent here on the channel. So the number 4 and number 5 are the same kind of they talk about the actual dock and the brand new redesigned dock. Apparently, I'm not sure whether it'll be compatible with Nintendo Switch. I hope it still would because it's still a USB kind of connector, kind of dock system that would connect your Nintendo to your TV, right? And so that we'll find out when the Switch comes out. But number 4 and number 5 are have to do with the dock, right? Number 6, the screen will be upgraded to 1080p resolution and slightly larger dimensions. So the system itself will be larger. Okay, and we have other reports out there we'll go over in just a bit, but the screen itself will be larger. Okay, it's not going to be. I mean, the actual system will be larger. Don't worry, it's not going to be as large as the Steam Deck, but it will be larger. Now, one of the things that I would love to hear about that I have not heard is the ergonomics of the new controllers. Right, I don't want that flat back from the Joy Cons. I want to have the ergonomics a little better, unless Nintendo is doing it on purpose so that companies that make cases, right, and extended products in order to kind of better the Switch. They're kind of giving them that job so they don't lose their sales and stuff, right? Nintendo kind of does their thing, and then they allow um like manufacturers and case makers and glass protector thingies, whatever. They allow them to have some sort of leeway when it comes to adding things to the Switch, like the ergonomics. I know there's I forgot the name of the company, but very well known for that. It's for that thing is specifically. And if Nintendo actually does the ergonomic thing on the Switch controller, then that company ceases to exist. So I understand if Nintendo still does decide to go with the flat back on the Joy Cons. Now we're here mobile pad, right? This is the old post, right? The old post that we saw, and the new post that they have now because they eventually had to take it down. Nintendo Ninjas, they chopped them down, I guess, is in this one right here. This is the original one we have now. And as you can see, there's only 3 bullet points. The 3 bullet points are in questions now. And not only that, but they reduced it from 6 bullet points to 3. The number 3 bullet point was made to kind of question the rest of them. And so with that, it's just kind of proof to us that Nintendo is really it's really it's really like behind this. Nintendo is looking out and has already struck, and I understand why they would do the mobile pad would change this. Mobile pad is a controller making company. And so with that information they had from behind the scenes, they weren't supposed to divulge this information. They weren't supposed to put this information out there. So I'm guessing that they were given a warning and the ability to just, hey, go ahead and update that information. It looks like it doesn't have that much traction on the actual post. You don't have that many likes, that many shares. But what they didn't know is that people like me, people like other content creators, we don't like, we don't comment, we don't share, we screenshot and we take it with us, right? As proof. And of course, we source with a link. We don't normally like, we don't comment like that because that basically, I mean, things can change, things can be taken down. And so content creators, journalists, what we do is kind of we screenshot things and we save them just like we did today. We have that proof that Nintendo really is behind this, and they had to change their post from this to actually from they changed their post from the one they had before, which is this one. Okay, look at all that, right? There's all that information to the one they have now, which is to protect themselves, right? To protect themselves. But unfortunately, the information is out there, and once it hits the internet, there's no way of getting that information out of the internet because that's what it is, right? And so, with that, let's move forward. Let's move to our other sources regarding Nintendo Switch 2 news. We got more than one. There is a lot here. So I'm going to go back to the other one where I think this is the one. Let me go ahead and just switch tabs here because I have everything open within tabs just to make it a little easier. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go over to My Nintendo News. My Nintendo News is a very good website for you to find everything Nintendo related. Let me just change the format here to see if I can get that. Why does that show dark here? Okay. What did they shut down my Nintendo News? All right, let's go straight to the website because this is weird. I think Nintendo Ninjas are trying to shut me down too. For real, for real. Hey, I trust me. I don't know whether I'm putting this channel at risk with just showing everything. Like the stuff that has been taken down already. I'm going over again. I don't know whether I'm just being a journalist here. I'm giving you guys the news, giving you guys the updates. If you guys appreciate that, do me a favor and hit that like button. Just before Nintendo shuts down my video. But here we have it. Let me see. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys can see it there clearly. But yeah, we're gonna go over this right now. This is the other source here. Rumor Spanish site Vandal shares Switch 2 information, and let's go over what they have shared. There's a lot of information that is the same as the one we went over, which only makes it better because it's a different source, a completely different source. This is a Spanish outlet. The one we went to is a mobile pad. Mobile pad is I think it's a Chinese company who makes controllers. I don't know where they're from, but they divulge what they know. They're a controller company. Now this is another outlet, completely different other outlet, which will give us more information. And as you see that information coming together, they feel the same, right? They kind of look the same. That just confirms to you that hey, these two outlets were exposed to the same information or saw the same thing. And so Spanish video game site Vandal claims to have been given new information regarding the highly anticipated successor to the Nintendo Switch, while Nintendo has yet to unveil an officially announced officially announce a successor. Rumblings are that it is on track for release in early 2025. If you were to tell me when it would be coming out, I would actually tell you February. February, early March. Vandal says that the Switch 2 is bigger than the current Nintendo Switch. Now, that's the first piece of information that matches the one we went over just now, but not as large and as hefty as the Steam Deck. Good. Says Joy-Cons will apparently attach. Oh no. Oh no. There's that name there. The Switch attach. That's not good. Hopefully that's not the name, but there we have it. Joy-Cons will apparently attach to the console magnetically, meaning that your current Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons are unlikely to be compatible with the new system. Okay, they might be compatible, but only via Bluetooth. So let's say you can actually play with your old Joy-Cons like this. If you have your controllers, actually you can't even see me right now, but you can play with your controllers like this, right? Let me fix that like that and paired via Bluetooth, right? Via Bluetooth. So let's continue to read here. Blippity blippity blurb. So here we have it. Okay, so where am I? The controller switched to bigger. Joy-Cons were play attached. Yep, yep. Uh, let's see here. Though there's good news for Switch Pro controller fans, as the current Pro controller will work on the new console. All right. So basically, it'll work because the Pro controller is a Bluetooth controller, but this is also a Bluetooth controller, and so you can use it as a Pro controller just like this, instead of attaching it to the Nintendo Switch 2. This is just a rumor at present, so of course, we take everything with a grain of salt. Here's a summary of the details from Vandal. So they went ahead and took out the most important things. Accessory manufacturers have been able to touch the console but not see it. That's just hilarious. Okay, so they've been. This is hilarious. This is funny. Accessory manufacturers have been able to touch the console but not see it. So basically, they, I guess they were blindfolded. Something happened. How are you able to touch something? Like, what is it out there? Blindfolded but not see it. Hey, here's a console. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Here's a console for you. Touch. Only use your eyes and your hands. Don't use your eyes and your face. Use the eyes of your hands and touch with your hands. Or see what was it? See with your hands. See with your hands, not with your eyes or eyeballs. With your hands. Feel it. Feel it. You know, so that's basically what this says. Accessory manufacturers have been able to touch the console but not see it. They've been able to touch it. They know how it feels, but they have no clue how it looks. And so I agree that accessory manufacturers do have access to products that are announced so that they can still start working on accessories, so that when the system comes out, the accessories are also there at launch. But this is funny. It's just hilarious that I can't believe this. It's like the blindfolded like thing there. Um, you have the kind of like, okay. It feels rough. It's rough. How many buttons do they have? Let me feel one, two, one, two, two. Okay, is this a joystick? Is this How big is this joystick? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get how you actually see something. Like I don't get how you actually see something without touching it or touching it without seeing it. It's weird, weird. But let's go ahead and move forward with the rest of the news here. Actually, let me go ahead and if I could do this and bring this over to here, that would be better, right? Um, Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. All right. So the other one is every manufacturer agrees the console won't release this year and will release early 2025. Now, I also kind of believe this because manufacturers they need to release their products to coincide, with the main release of the product. So when a case maker for an iPhone, they know when the release date for the iPhone is, so that when on day one, there's also cases to be sold alongside the iPhone as well. Like for example, if you have been to an iPhone store, or if you've been to us to I'll say iPhone just because I used to work for Apple for 10 years. So on launch day, when we actually launch iPhones, the brand new day, the store is packed like crazy, and we have these brand new shiny phones. Where are my phones? So where here? These brand new shiny phones right here. The cool thing about it is that when you go to the store on day one to pick up that phone, we also have some cases, right? We got cases from various companies that make cases for the iPhone. Now, the only reason why we have those cases is because Apple communicated with them and got in contact and says here's the release date for the Switch. I mean for the iPhone, and we are gonna launch it here. Here's a mock-up of the device so that you can actually make your cases for the device, and they fit well. And so let us know what you need. Start to work. Start working, right? And so yeah, manufacturers of cases, of controllers, of accessories do have contact with that first party company for making the product in order to have those accessories alongside the release date. So I believe that a bit. Okay, so the next one here, and this is another one that you're going to see that we've already talked about, a bit bigger. than the current Switch models, but nowhere close to the Steam Deck. So we'll expect the Nintendo Switch to be just a little bigger, but not as big as a Steam Deck, which is cool. I don't mind. The Switch is not that big anyway, right? The Joy Cons will change their attachment system from rails to a magnetic system, and the current ones won't be forward compatible. Now, this is like a iffy kind of thing because they are Bluetooth controllers, so I'm guessing you can, like I said, use it in this matter, right? This matter right here, um, and not attach them, but you can still use them like this. So if you have extra controllers, you can still use them in this manner, like a pro controller, rather than just using them as attachments to the new Switch. The next one here is the current pro controller will work on Switch 2, and that makes sense because the Bluetooth is here now. I'm gonna before I get to this, I got one more piece of information before I get to Pororo. Pororo did comment, okay? So Pororo did comment on this. If you guys know Pororo, what Pororo says is not a leak, is a spoiler, because that whoever it is has 100% track record. So just to let you know, I got Pororo. I'm going to a Pororo, and we're gonna go over what he said about this information, about all of this information out there, because every single outlet from different locations seem to be collaborating the same exact thing, corroborating. I can't, that word. All right, so let's go to the next one before we go to Pororo. And this one is a little bit exciting to me just because I am on team 2024, just like some of you are out there. And this one a little bit contradicts what everybody has been saying, but I like it. I just like it because I want to get the Switch 2 as soon as possible. And I know you guys wanted to. And so this one is just a little bit outside of left field. And well, it comes from, we go to My Nintendo News again. The source is My Nintendo News. I like them because they organize their stories very well, making them easy to understand, easy to read. And so the title is Business Korea. Switch 2 could launch 2024 and uses Samsung components. Now, we're going to get a little bit into the specs of the Nintendo Switch 2 with this article here. And so I'll try to break it down for everyone who are not too tech savvy, right? Because, you just want to play games. You just want to make sure, does it play games? Does it look pretty? And can I afford it? Those are the big three questions, right? Can I play games? Does it look pretty? And can I afford it? Those are the big three questions. And those are the most important questions that anybody can ask. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Another Nintendo Switch 2 leak has emerged. Surprise. Yesterday was like the Christmas of leaks. Has emerged at this time. It is from Business Korea. The Korea publication, okay? It's Business Korea, right? In Korea, Business Korea is a very credible publication, right? It's like I guess New York Times or something like that. I mean, an outlet that's it has a position, right? The Korea publication claims a number of things, including that we could be seeing the Switch 2 release at the end of the year after all. The site also says that Samsung is the main component provider for the platform and that the system will use NVIDIA's Tegra 239 chip. Now, that's familiar to a lot of people because we've been talking about that like for 2 years now, that Tegra chip, which means it would be similar in power to Sony's PlayStation 4 with some ray tracing compatibilities and DLSS. Now, I want to give you guys a picture here. Before we proceed, I know that PlayStation 4 thing kind of gets people a little upped, but I want to let you know that today's PlayStation 4 wouldn't be the PlayStation 4 from 10 years ago. There is so much newer technology that will go into this that will, of course, make it more like the PlayStation 5 than the PlayStation 4. Not the PlayStation 5 itself, but closer to the PlayStation 5 than closer to the PS4. Now, Mike, how can this be? Let's start out with the hardware, right? The hard drive. Do you guys remember 10 years ago? Raise your hand if you guys have been around 10 years or more. 10 years ago, we had this thing called hard drives. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys hard drives. Okay. 10 years ago, we had these things called hard drives. There you have them. Look at them. Look at these hard drives, right? These are hard drives. 10 years ago, we had these things called hard drives that had these discs. Let me see if I can kind of highlight one here. Maybe I'll take, let's see, maybe this one, maybe. I'll go get that one. Right, that. You see, this is a hard drive here. It had like a disc, right? It looked like a CD disc, right? And it came in this little big giant kind of container right there. We got it out to 1 terabyte and everything, right? And so everybody made it. This is a hard drive. This is where you store your information, and this is what tells you how fast the information can be obtained, right? And so, like when you open a picture, right, or when you open a video or whatever, it's how fast the information can be obtained. And so this is what we had 10 years ago. We no longer have that. After that, as you can see here, we had. Let me see if I can get that bigger for you guys. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and copy this here. I'm gonna try to open it and make it bigger, because this is all very important information, just so that you guys know, um, and have a good understanding of what the power will really be like on Nintendo Switch 2 when it's compared to the PlayStation 4. Okay, it is not the PlayStation 4 from 10 years ago when it came out. Okay, it's the PlayStation 4 like if it would have been built today. And so if you see here, we have the hard drive. This is what we used to use 10 years ago. If you look at any PlayStation 4 or any Xbox One from 10 years ago, this is what they would have inside. After that, we jumped over to SSD. This one is more, you guys are more familiar with these SSD, right? I think I have one right here. Yeah, I do have one right here, like that. I do have one. So let's see if I can grab this here. I think this is it. No, this is actually a hard drive. Never mind. And this is actually a hard drive. But that you guys can tell how much smaller it is. It went from disk to digital, right? It's no longer a disk that spins, right? And it reads like a record player. Okay, that's the best analogy. This thing here is a record player. Okay, the big giant hardware, it's a disc with a reader. It reads the disc, and within the disc is where the information is stored. And so it went from a record player to an iPod, the digital, right? It went to digital, so of course it increased the speeds, right? Right, I want that the MP3 player. So it increased the speeds of the speeds. The quality of the content is better now, right? It's like if you take a look at a picture stored on a hard drive and take a look at a picture stored on the SSD drive, the picture on the SSD drive has more quality. It's better rendered, right? And so this is what we still have. But this is the newer one, the M.2. It's still called SSD. It's an NVMe M.2 drive. Look at how smaller it is now. It went from this cave looking dinosaur thing to this leaker looking kind of cassette looking thing to this little smaller thing. And guess what? There's something even smaller that is half the size of this one, okay, that is in the PlayStation 5 and is also in the Xbox Series X, okay? Now, Nintendo with that, okay, just adding that. If you guys remember, there was a leak from Gamescom last year where they were testing some games like Breath of the Wild, that Matrix thingy, and what they found out is that loading times were completely gone. Okay, that's just a leak, that's just a rumor, but that loading times were completely gone. Now, why I believe this? Because this has to do a lot with the loading times. This little disc right here will like spin, 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 spin. And if you have a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, and you played any sports game or anyway, remember that little bar, the loading that will take forever, right? And then compare that to a PS5 now, right? When it comes to the loading time, it's just night and day. And so, just with this piece of information, I'm going to ask you: do you think that the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 and the Switch 2? I'm talking about the PS4 from 10 years ago and the PS2, the Switch 2 from this year or next year will be the same technology wise. No, that's just an advantage there. And not only that, but back in the day, 10 years ago, I'm like pretend like we're very old here, but we're not. It's only been 10 years, right? But back in the day, there was this thing. Uh, they didn't have any DLSS upscaling, right? They didn't have they didn't have AI, artificial intelligence that has literally taken over the industry. AI upscaling. Yes, it sounds as scary as it is because what it really does it learns, it it improves, it makes the image better with its own brain. Wait a minute, this is how it looks. It doesn't look that great. You know what? I want to make it look better, and it just kind of generates a better image from the one that you had before. And so with Terminator Switch, exactly. Look, listen, AI upscaling wasn't here 10 years ago. DLSS existed in the PC era, but in its very, very like I would say Stone Age state, not like today. DLSS is something completely different today than it was 10 years ago, and was only available, I would say, in movies when they did 3D rendering in movies, like movies, and also PC gaming, but never in consoles like it is now. DLSS upscaling, let's say the Nvidia DLSS is okay. Let's put this in a way that is going to be like very easy to understand. Nintendo is taking a shortcut to get from point A to point B. All right, very smartly, without using a lot of hardware and a lot of AI and a lot of DLSS, right? And of course, newer technology with a newer hard drive, with DLSS, with AI upscaling, with AI upscaling. That's scary. Imagine you put up your game in here and it looks tomorrow better than it looked to yesterday. I'm like, how did that happen? Guess what, guys? Your Switch is alive. Your Switch 2 will have its own brain working on your system to make games look better. It's gonna be alive. It's gonna be there for you. So if it'll grow legs and just walk away. But yeah, it's like I said. Now think about all this new stuff, right? All of the new technology, and then say that phrase again. Oh yeah, the Switch 2 will be comparable to the PS4. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make it makes it makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. Because today is not 10 years ago. The technology we have today is not the technology we had 10 years ago. Now, if you take the PS4 and you add all of these amazing things, AI upscaling, DLSS, the chips we have now, the hard drive, the we don't have a hard drive anymore. We have an M.2 drive. That little sleeky drive that you're looking on screen right now. We take all that and we upgrade that PS4 with all of that new technology we have now today. We will probably get a better system closer to what Xbox Series S, and even X sometimes than the PS4 from 10 years ago, right? And so when you hear, oh yeah, it's gonna be as close as the PS4, just have that in mind. Have all of that in mind. And on top of that, the PlayStation 4 was the PlayStation 4 portable? Did you carry the PlayStation 4 in your hands wherever you went with its own screen, its own detachable Joy-Cons on the road, on the plane, on the train, in the park, on the beach, wherever you went? No, it was not. That itself tells you that the technology has advanced to a point where we can have better power, more advanced power than what the PS4 had back in the day to what we have now, right? What we have now. And so I'm telling you, it is it's newer tech, it's smarter tech, smart attack, it's smarter tech. And so not only that, but it's just an overall brand new system made for today, not with the PS4 power. I really wish that outlets would explain that a little better, because they know, they have the knowledge, guys. They have it, but it makes more sense. It's more clickbaity to tell you, oh no, the next system will have the power of the PS4, rather than tell you that the Nintendo Switch will have the maybe the CPU GPU closer to the PlayStation 4, but it will take a shortcut and it will make leaps and bounds technologically to get it closer to the PS5 than to the PS4, right? Or the Xbox Series S and X than to the PS4 and then to the PS4. It's more clickbaity to you. It elicits more emotion in people to tell them that, hey, yeah, your next gen console is going to be as powerful as a 10-year-old console from back in the day. They don't tell you the truth. They tell you half of it so that it elicits an emotion in you, and then you want to click on that article, and it's not good, not cool, not cool, right? You want to hear the whole story. You want to hear the whole thing, the whole process, so that you have a better understanding of what you're really getting in your hands once that Nintendo Switch comes out. That no matter what, that next gen system will be leaps and bounds over the PS4 and leaps and bounds over the Nintendo Switch, right? So let's go ahead and go over to our next leaker here, and we're gonna go over Pororo. Pororo, yes, guys. For those of you who said, "Where's Pororo? Pororo needs to say something." Yes, my friends, Pororo has spoken. The Pororo has spoken, and we are gonna go ahead and go over. What am I sharing here? I'm still sharing the same screen. Pororo has indeed spoken, and we are gonna go ahead and see what he said. Okay. Let me go back over here, and here we are with Pororo. This is what Pororo literally said just about 3 hours ago. Can you guys see that well? Oh, wait. Why am I still on that screen? Let me go ahead and change screens here. It's changing, replacing, and changing. And I think here we are. And I think that's it, right? Let me just make sure. Yeah, we are here. We are here. Let me go ahead and make it bigger for you guys. That way you guys can see better. And here we are finally. Finally, PRO has spoken, the person who has 100% track record. And this is what they said. To those sending me this via DM, it appears that this info has been divulged for some manufacturers, to some manufacturers. So he's confirming that this information was really, really told to manufacturers and Nintendo influencers in China for a while. Okay. Such info has been mentioned in some private discussions, while my main source can't verify it. And then he later in the comments states, I mean, such info has been mentioned in some private discussions before this report. So it makes sense because the first information we got from was from MobilePad, and MobilePad said that they received this information back in May of last year. Okay, MobilePad said that they received this information back in May of last year. So Pororo now is confirming that this information is not new, that all this information has already been said behind the scenes to in private sessions, right? And also accessory makers and influencers. So it appears that this information has been divulged, okay, has already been got over to some manufacturers, right? So yeah, manufacturers are the ones who are in charge of making the parts for the next gen system, and Nintendo influencers in China for a while. Okay, a while. Yeah, May from last year is a while. We're almost up a year now. Such info has been mentioned in some private discussion. In nowhere or form, he is saying that this information is false. He's he's basically mentioning that his own source can't verify it just yet. All right, verify it is to be for it to be unknown. And I would say maybe because Pororo's source is not attached to manufacturing. Everything we've heard from Pororo so far has been about games and game releases, right? You have never heard about systems. It's only been about games and game releases. From Nintendo and Nintendo Directs, Nintendo Mini, Nintendo Partner Showcases, announcements, and stuff like that. So when it comes to his personal source, it can't verify it because they're not in that department, right? But he is confirming that that information, yes, it has been talked about to manufacturers, which that's where it officially leaked from, and Nintendo insiders, and that is it's been in discussions before the current report, so it's been around for a while. But if you see here, Pororo's track record lies within video games, right? We go over here, Paper Mario Day falls on a Sunday this year, and this is before he actually, but and then he kind of put this here, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So he actually mentioned that Mario Day falls on a Sunday this year, but Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, we would get news of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and yes, we did get. Oh, and also Luigi's Mansion. And so you see, he did get this 100% correct. We did get information on Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion on Mario that we got the release dates. And also every Nintendo Direct for the past since Pororo, there you go. You know, since Pororo started sharing information, partner showcases, this Endless Ocean one, right? And so his information, right? His information is more on Nintendo Direct presentations and games, and rather than hardware. He has never spoken about hardware, controllers, manufacturers, and all that stuff. But he did come out to say that that information has been provided to manufacturers and is now out in the open for everyone to see and to hear about. So, man, now that we know, now that we know, we have all this information out there. We're gonna go over to Q&A. If you guys have a question you want to ask, you can go ahead and at Mike Odyssey. I will highlight your question on the chat. I will highlight your question on the chat and then go over the question right now. So yeah, if you have any questions you want to go over, any clarification on any of the news that we've spoken about today, I've been live for 54 minutes and everything I'm giving you is pure information on everything Nintendo Switch 2. Therefore, if you are watching this pre-recorded, there's no fluff. There's no fluff. There's nothing in between. It's all news. It's all updates. It's all relevant. So if you appreciate this, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have not done so, subscribe, and I can continue to give you guys more live news just like this. We'll go over the news. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it, and we can break it down. Let's go ahead and go over the first question we have right here. This question comes to us by Alex. Alex says, "What's your thoughts on the Switch 2?" I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to get it. I know it's gonna be more powerful, bigger screen. I have a video on the channel that talks about Switch 2 features, and all of the features are all patents that I found from Nintendo. They are not rumors, they're not leaks, they're actual documents from Nintendo. And so based on those features. A lot of them have been confirmed through these leaks, like the magnetic attachment. That was a patent that I discovered last year on the channel for the Switch 2. And so the magnetic thing, we went over it. We went over a lot of other things. I went over how you can actually borrow and share digital games with up to 4 other accounts on Nintendo. So there is a patent that talks about that particular feature, right? We don't know yet whether we will see it until Nintendo kind of reveals it, but there's the ability to share Nintendo Switch games, right, with up to 4 other accounts. I'm guessing it'll be your family members, your friends, your best friends, right? And there's also another patent that talks about the dock as a entertainment hub. Like when you dock your Switch, it'll pop up, you play games. When you undock, it'll still be recognized by the TV, and you'll see all your little apps like Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV, and so on. So that is another patent. There's another patent that talks about the Nintendo streaming service for movies and TV shows by Nintendo. We know that Nintendo is actually now making 2 other movies besides the Mario movie. We have the Legend of Zelda live action movie in production. We also have that new movie announcement from Super Mario Universe, which some people say it's Donkey Kong, some people say it could be Luigi's Mansion. It could be either or. Comes out in April, excuse me, April of 2026. And so, man, I can't wait for Switch 2. It's gonna be a big leap forward. It's gonna be awesome, and I really can't wait. Really, really can't wait. Let me see here. Hide this. Let's see a question. Will the Switch attach kill us in our sleep? I hope not. I hope not. I will have my Wii U as a pillow just in case, because that way it protects me. It protects me. It has eyes right here. This bar is eyes. You can look at me, and it'll protect me just in case that Switch 2 comes out. I'll have my Wii U gamepad as a pillow. It's big like a pillow, and it'll protect me. So I recommend everyone to buy yourselves a Switch 2, a Wii U, the pad, even if you don't use it as a pillow just in case the Switch attacks you in your sleep. So it's something that you have to kind of, you know, it's something you have to kind of think about beforehand. Do you think we'll get some first party in June direct? I think so. I think that Nintendo. Listen, Miyamoto, not Miyamoto, Nintendo Furukawa president said that we should expect Nintendo Switch to continue getting supports when it comes to video games until the fiscal year ending in March of 2025. That's this current fiscal year. And so we expect Nintendo Switch games to be out or scheduled until March of 2025. We still have half of the year calendar without any more video games. So yeah, I think I'm close to 100% sure we're gonna get more video games on Nintendo Switch for the rest of the year. And I believe we're gonna get a presentation very, very soon, whether it be the direct with more games for the rest of the year or Switch 2. Who knows? But I do believe that we'll get more first party games announced this very same year. That was a great question. Great question. All right, let's see here. Do you think we'll get some first party? Oh, that I already answered that question. Okay, let's go back to another one. All right. So, any other question, guys? Any other questions? Any other questions or comments? You don't have to have a question. It can also be a comment. Just make sure that you at Mike Odyssey. That way I can go ahead and respond and react to your comment, right? And just at Mike Odyssey, and then make your comment or question. Okay, make your comment or question. Okay, and then I can go ahead and respond. If you can't think of any questions, but you saw something you actually did like, or you would like to see something, or a game that might be on Switch or not be on Switch or Switch 2, then you can go ahead and share that comment. Just make sure to add Mike Odyssey so I know to highlight it and we can all read it together. But again, it's been an hour stream. The entire hour, my friends, the entire hour has been nothing but Nintendo Switch 2 news updates. And so we are in a really exciting time to be a Nintendo fan, my friends. This is like I'm not gonna call it the calm before the storm. I'm gonna call it the night before Christmas because the night before Christmas, it's like one of the most exciting nights ever. As a kid, man, you want to go to sleep, you want to peek between the sheets, you want to just wake up already because you want to like I remember on the 24th, like, can we go to sleep yet? Is it still daylight? Because I know the next day we would get presents. So don't forget to like the stream and follow Mike Odyssey on Insta and Twitter. All right, here. And then we have from Rainbow Love. By the way, one of my favorite screen names on the channel. At Mike Odyssey, what do you think about the Star Fox rumor? I believe that it is no longer a rumor. I think it's a leak because it is written on Shigeru Miyamoto's page, is on his IMDb page, and I've already proven that IMDb you can't just edit because it goes through an approval process. I have an account for IMDb Pro, and so I tried to create a listing. I was denied. I tried to add myself to a movie. I was I was denied. I made up a movie. I added some actors and stuff. I was denied. And so they actually really look through all the submissions. Maybe their algorithm is very good, but Star Fox Untitled for Nintendo Switch game is listed as one of the games on his thing on his profile. And I think that, man, that game will be it's gonna be on Nintendo Switch. I think it's gonna be super awesome. I can't wait to play that game. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's official. It's official. It's on his page. And so let's see here. Another question. So the question. Mike, honestly, what do you think the game will be like? I don't know. Open galaxy. It's like, how open world is taking over everything. Everybody wants open world here, open world there. An open galaxy, maybe like an open galaxy game. And so I don't know. I just hope it looks great. I hope the story is fantastic. I hope it has some sort of multiplayer added to it, and I hope it takes us on a really awesome adventure. You know, and so let's see here. Da, da, da. 3 more games, Donkey Kong remake, New Mario 3D. Really? Hold up. Hold up. Like, I've checked again, IMDb Pro, and there are 3 more games. Donkey Kong remake, New Mario 3D. I mean, those. Let me go check that. I need to go check that out right now. Let's go to IMDb. DB Pro. You guys are making me. You guys are helping me make news here. Let's go ahead to IMDb Pro, and then I'm going to go ahead and look for Mr. Miyamoto's page, and I'll share my screen here so you guys can see Miyamoto's page. And let's go here. I'll share the screen. I'm already sharing the screen. I'll make it bigger. This bigger. There you go. I'll actually make it a lot bigger. There we go. And let me go ahead and hide your comment. That way we can see here. And so far, I mean, yeah, I never actually clicked on this part here. And we only kind of got this the untitled Star Fox game for Nintendo Switch. And let's click on it to see what shows up. So look, it even has directors already attached to it. It has a producer, Shigeru Miyamoto and Atsushi Inaba. And so, it's a sci-fi adventure and Nintendo of Japan, production company Nintendo of Japan in Kyoto, distributor Nintendo, CO company credits. We have Nintendo of Europe, format. We have the contact is Nintendo of Japan. So Nintendo Japan was the one who created this actually listing here. Nintendo JP production. And let's go ahead and look over the other ones. The other, the 3D Mario game. Miyamoto already spoke about the 3D Mario game that they're working on. So he did speak about in an interview they are working on a brand new 3D Mario. So I'm not surprised if it's here. Another thing is that their Luigi's Mansion 4 is also here. So Luigi's Mansion here, Super Mario Brothers movie sequel, pre-production. That's already been announced also. Untitled Open World 3D Mario. This was already announced as well. Unknown Donkey Kong remake, post-production, Untitled Mario baseball game, production unknown. And so there's a lot of stuff here from him. But I wouldn't be surprised of these right here. Donkey Kong game. There's always another Donkey Kong game coming. There's always another sports game coming. So another Star Fox here as well. The Legend of Zelda, the movie itself. I think this is the movie one, right? Yeah, West Ball. This is actually the movie here. Derek Connolly, Amita Rad, Joe Hardwick. This is the movie. But a lot of these listings were already spoken about by Miyamoto himself. Um, there's also a data mine that shows a Star Fox. Yeah. So I'm telling you, there's a lot coming to Nintendo Switch. I think Nintendo is not done. I don't know. Well, it says Nintendo Switch. I don't know whether the next system will be called the Nintendo Switch or Switch Attach. I hope not. I really don't. But there's a possibility it might be called Switch 2, Switch Attach, Switch something else, Switch it up, Switch Super Switch. There's no way of knowing until Nintendo decides themselves. But those listings on IMDb, Miyamoto had already confirmed them during an interview. The new Donkey Kong game, the next Donkey Kong game, the next 3D Mario game. Miyamoto also confirmed they do an interview. And so, yeah, the information on IMDb. This is the first time I'm looking at it, and it's pretty cool. Thank you for bringing that up. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it just confirms that we are getting more games, guys. We're getting more and more games coming to Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, and it's just an exciting time to be a Nintendo fan, right? It really says. I hope it's called Switch Attached. I'm attached. All right, like yeah, look at part. I hope it's called Switch Attached. I'm attached to the name. Yeah, I'm not so attached to the Switch Attached name. It's not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But my friends, my friends, we are living in one of the most exciting times to be a Nintendo fan. I think that the upcoming once the system hits manufacturers, which is what happened, that's how we got all of this new information, right? We get information about the actual hardware because of the manufacturers. There's always a little black sheep amongst them all who divulges information to other sources, and it looks like there's more than one little black sheep giving out information and is currently working on the system. I don't doubt. Actually, I'm going to predict that in the upcoming future, not too far from today, we will probably see images from manufacturers on the Nintendo Switch, whether it be a screen size, whether it be the back of the Nintendo Switch, whether it be the controller itself, whether it be a box, whether it be anything related to the next gen system. I believe the next leak is going to be hardware wise, and we're going to actually see it. You know, I just can't wait for Nintendo to announce it. And I think that Nintendo should get ahead of the leaks and announce the system already. According to Business Korea, this could be the year for Switch 2, and this could explain why the second half of the year at this point, first before any other year, this is the first year that Nintendo at this point in time has nothing for the second half of the year. That could explain the gap. Switch 2 will take in the entire gap. The games will get a couple more Switch games. The fact that the games are backwards compatible with in cartridge form and digitally frees up Nintendo to still release games for the Switch while we wait for the Switch 2. Haven't been the Switch 2 announced, and that will not affect Nintendo Switch games because we know that it'll be compatible moving forward. So, with that said, my friends, if you have not liked this stream, please like the stream. We are on the way to 50K. We are so close. If you have not done so yet, wherever you're watching from, hit that follow, that subscribe, and that like. I really truly appreciate you guys more than you know. And those likes, those follows, those subscriptions will only motivate me more and help me just reassure myself that I am in the right line and I can continue to make content for you guys and just have fun, and live this gaming life to the fullest, right? Because that's what we all want in the end. We want to live this gaming life to the fullest. Now, if you just got here just now, we've been talking about for the past hour about every single league, even with updates and everything between. So even if you rewind this live stream, you will get no fluff. It'll all be information that is good to go from the beginning to the end. And yes, this is the end. I want to thank you all for being here. Don't forget to do all that stuff. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Before I let you go, never ever give up until charity on. Wait, that's not me. Hold up. This is me. Nope, that's not me either. That's me. Journey on, guys. Take care.